This next video is going to talk about conjunctive adverbs. Conjunctive adverbs are similar to coordinating conjunctions in that they can combine two simple sentences together in order to create a compound sentence. They can also be used as transition words at the start of sentences, but for our purposes, we are going to focus on how they can be used to combine two simple sentences to create a compound sentence. So let's start by just reviewing a bit about coordinating conjunctions, which we discussed in the last video. We remember that a coordinating conjunction can do three things. It can join two words, it can join two phrases, or it can join two independent clauses, also known as simple sentences, to create a compound sentence. Here are some examples of some compound sentences that are written with coordinating conjunctions. We have college classes began this month, comma, but most classes are online. In this case, our coordinating conjunction is the word but. We know that we have a compound sentence on our hand because we have two simple sentences. We have college classes is our first subject, and then began is our first verb. Began this month is our predicate, right? So there's simple sentence number one. Then on the other side, most classes is our second subject. Are is our verb, and then are online would be our predicate. So we have sentence number two, and again, they're combined in the middle with a comma and a coordinating conjunction. Here's another example. I need a good GPA, comma, so I must do well in English class. Again, I is your subject, need is your verb, need a good GPA is your predicate. Then on the other side, I is your subject, must do well, or must do is your verb phrase, and then well in English class describes how the action must take place. So it's your predicate there. Again, these two simple sentences or independent clauses are joined with a comma and a fanboy's word or a coordinating conjunction. Here's another example. I enjoy helping others, comma, and I like learning new things. In this case, I is your subject, enjoy helping is your verb phrase, enjoy helping others is your predicate. Then we have on the other side of your coordinating conjunction, I is the subject, like is your verb, learning new things is the predicate. And again, we have those joined in the middle with a comma and a coordinating conjunction. But what happens if we don't want to use our coordinating conjunctions? If we want to elevate our writing a little bit and make it sound a little bit more sophisticated? Well, in that case, we can use something called a conjunctive adverb. And the conjunctive adverbs you see on the screen loosely translate to mean and, but, and so. These are simple words. We use them all the time, but they're actually illustrating pretty sophisticated relationships between ideas. But is really a word that shows contrast, right? It shows difference. So two other ways of saying difference or contrast, you can use the words however, or you can use the word nevertheless. And is a word that just shows addition, right? Like we're going to continue to move in the same direction. Here's one idea, and then here's another idea that continues on the same train of thought. And words that loosely translate to mean and, or that show addition, are moreover and furthermore. And then finally, the word so is a word that shows cause and effect, right? One thing happened, and then as a result, this other thing happened. And the words therefore, thus, and hence loosely translate to mean so. These are conjunctive adverbs that you can use in your writing instead of using and, but, and so. And as I said, what they do is they sort of elevate your writing a little bit, make you sound a bit more sophisticated. So we're going to try those on as we are working on our compositions in this class. Let's see. So if we return to the examples that we looked at on the previous slide, college classes began this month, but most classes are online. We know that's our compound sentence with our coordinating conjunction. We can rewrite that. College classes began this month. However, most classes are online. I need a good GPA, so I must do well in English class. Can be revised to I need a good GPA, therefore I must do well in English class. Or I need a good GPA, thus I must do well in English class. Or I need a good GPA, hence I must do well in English class. Now, one thing I want to pause and point out to you here is that when we're using coordinating conjunctions to join two simple sentences, all we need is a comma and that fanboy's word. However, when we're using those more sophisticated conjunctions like however, nevertheless, therefore, thus, you need both a semicolon, the word, followed by a comma. And the way I remember this is I say when I'm using more sophisticated language, then I need more sophisticated punctuation, right? Or when I'm using fancy words, I need fancy punctuation is another way to remember it. And so let's look at one more example. I enjoy helping others, comma, and I like learning new things can be rewritten as I enjoy helping others, semicolon, moreover, comma, I like learning new things. And I enjoy helping others, semicolon, furthermore, I like learning new things. So these sentences relatively mean the same thing. Just notice we can try using different kinds of language to create some variety in our word choice. And that is how conjunctive adverbs operate. By the way, the reason a conjunctive adverb needs a semicolon instead of just a comma is because these words can begin a new sentence, right? So I could write, I enjoy helping others, period, capitalize the M, moreover, comma, and that would be correct. But I couldn't put a period after others and capitalize and. Fanboys words cannot begin sentences unless you're intentionally breaking the rules. But conjunctive adverbs can. Like I said, they can work as transition words as well. This slide here, I think, provides a nice illustration of how to put your sentences together. So when we're writing compound sentences and we're writing them with either coordinating conjunctions or conjunctive adverbs, we have sentence number one, right? Simple sentence is an independent clause, comma, are fanboys words, followed by another independent clause or simple sentence. And when we are thinking about using conjunctive adverbs, we have simple sentence number one or independent clause, semicolon, your conjunctive adverb word, comma, and another independent clause, right? And so really what we're doing here is we're just illustrating the relationship that exists between this idea and this idea, right? This idea happened, but this idea also happened. Or this idea happened and as a result, this idea happened. So the way in which conjunctions help us write. Okay, so I might pause and encourage you to, in your discussion board post, write a sentence this week that includes a conjunctive adverb in a compound sentence. The next video is going to cover subordinating conjunctions. So when you're ready to move on, go ahead and tune in for the subordinating conjunction video.